Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bowman here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of Planescape Torment, and we are doing some side quests still. In the Clerk's Ward? Yeah, Clerk's Ward. So yeah. The woman before you is incredibly attractive. There's some intangible aura about her that makes you want to speak to her. As you step up to her, she glances at you coldly, then gives you a knowing smile. Greetings. You want something, yes? She hisses the yes, drawing it out slowly, sensually from between her teeth. I can help. Name your desire and I shall provide it. I love the fest hall. The woman ignores Mort, her eyes locked with yours. She smiles, awaiting a response. What do you have that I might want? All that you might want lies within my reach. What little I do not possess I can attain. Speak your desire. There is something that I want. I want my memories returned, all of them. She smiles. Much may be forgotten in a lifetime, and much more in several lifetimes. I can help you. She studies your face closely. Explain to me the ways in which you want these memories. Speak to me your craving, and I shall speak to you of the price. What proof do you have that you could return them to me? She doesn't seem to move, but suddenly her hand is touching your forehead, a finger dragging along your temple. Only this. You feel as if the fog in your head has been peeled away briefly, enough to catch a glimpse of remembrance. But before you can focus on the memory, the fog rolls back in. Only this. Only tell me why you desire it. Speak to me your craving, and I shall speak to you of the price. Describe the way in which you want your memories back. As you speak, her smile fades, and she leans forward attentively, her eyes ravaging your features as you speak. Her presence compels you to speak more than you normally would, and after a few moments, her eyes flutter closed as she gives a sharp intake of breath. Suddenly, the desire for your memories begins to wane. Your want slowly drains out of you, leaving only a cold emphasis in the wake. She opens her eyes again as you stop speaking. What's wrong, Traveler? You no longer want your memories returned to you? No. I mean, yes. What have you done to me? She seems perplexed. Whatever do you mean? Despite her innocent demeanor, you're certain something unnatural has occurred. She has somehow siphoned off part of your desire, stolen it away from some ghastly collection of wants, or perhaps to feed upon. Had you finished speaking of your desire, you're certain it would have been lost forever to you. Come now, is there something else you'd want then? Tell me of it. I'd best not. Farewell, unfulfilled desire. This older man is staring into a stein of ale, misery etched into his features. The battered pewter mug is an unusual one, lightly engraved with strange runes and bearded faces and covered with a coat of thin frost. He looks up as you approach him. Greetings, sir. He seems slightly tipsy. Something wrong? He sighs, belches into his hand, then nods as he takes another pull of ale. Hey, something's wrong, all right. I've gone and lost my apprenticeship. Well, hungover I was, and botched my mentor's last experiment. All for this damn drink. He sneers at the mug in his hand, but in seconds his expression softens as he takes another swig. Ruins everything it does, this damnable drinking of mine. Why don't you stop drinking
my journal.
then? He shrugs and sighs miserably. I simply cannot. I want to, but I cannot. I just need to drink. I try and stay away, but desire eventually overcomes me, and I cannot resist. Such a wreck I've become. He throws back the last of his ale and calls for more. There's someone you should speak to. Unfulfilled desire. You can find her in the Civic Fest Hall. Talk to her of your love for drink. Soon you'll find you won't want it any longer.
Updated my journal.
His eyes brighten. Truly, I shall go. Speak to her now, then. I thank you, sir. He pauses, looking down at his empty mug. Here, I would have you take this. I need it no longer. He hands you the rune-covered ale stain. Do have some other questions. What is of interest here? I'm afraid that I did not go far beyond the Galleria and cannot help you with this matter. You might try to ask someone else. I had a question about one of the pieces. Oh, which one? One of the paintings? The Dark Birds of Arcanthus.
Updated my journal.
All of them are chipped from the great magical sheet of black infinite ice that rests in the black belly of the plain of Ocanthus. She pauses, tapping her chin. It is said that the sheet of ice is the final destination of the river Styx, and that the recollections of all that have plunged into the Styx memory-destroying waters still lie frozen within the ice. If the waters of the Styx destroy one's memories, would this ice from Arcanus do the same? I can only assume so, yes. That's what I wish to know. Farewell.
Done.
Catch one in your frostale mug. You dip the mug into the icy wind rising from the pedestal, catching a small shard within. With a slight clang, peering into the mug, you can see that the dark bird is a razor-sharp silver of black ice. Only the mug's magical properties prevent the shard from melting away to nothing. Merman squints at you. Well, have you something that will wipe my mind of these cursed memories? I certainly hope you haven't returned without. You'll never get the keys to Dolores' heart that way. Here, take this mug. It holds a dark bird of Ocanthus, a sliver of ice from the river Styx. It should wipe your memories clean. Merriman takes the mug and removes a piece of paper from his pocket. He tilts the mug back and takes the ice into his mouth. It melts instantly, leaving him with a somewhat startled expression. Merriman?
Updated my journal.
He looks at you, confused. Then at the paper in his hands, he reads aloud. Congratulations, Merriman. You've begun again. Thank you, the man in front of you, and give him the key to your pocket. Speak to Splinter, the man at the door of this building, for more information. He looks to you again. Well, it would seem I owe you thanks, good sir. Here, take this key. I'd best find the Splinter fellow and find out what's going on.
Done.
Dolores' eyes flash as she sees you. Did you find him? Has he agreed to return the keys to my heart? Yes, I have the keys to your heart. Here they are.
Updated my journal.
At last, as she takes the keys from your grasp, her hands brushes against yours. Her skin is dry but icy to the touch, like cold metal. These will be great use to me, I thank you. Of course, Dolores, I had some questions. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute?
Updated my journal.
Yes, her name is Echo, her voice, and in fact, her every means of communication was stolen and destroyed. Echo's words once wooed away the paramour of the godling Parishima. Parishima is a jealous rage tore away Echo's voice, sealed it within a crystal vial, and hurled it into Megalolamandra's maw. Echo's voice is forever lost to her. Only another new voice could return to her the ability to communicate ever once more. I know this because I spoke to Paramisha's paramour once. That is all I wish to know. Farewell. This handsome young man seems lost in thought, his brow furrowed, and slight frown upon his lips. Greetings, and to thee, sir, hail. What dost thou wish of me? Are you Montague? I need to speak to you about Juliet. Oh? He gives you a puzzled, slightly suspicious look. I demand her love, and I demand that you withdraw your false presentations of love before I mash you into tiny bits. Thou love her so that thou wouldst fight me? Yes. He studies you for a moment. Thou art passionate about this matter, I see. Passion stems from love. Thou love her, and I could not deny her a love such as thine. I shall, from this moment onward, hold no claim to her. Thou may do as thou wish. Hold a moment. This was all a ruse. A ruse of what sort? She wanted to provoke you into fighting for her. Oh? Did she think my love so boundless that I would engage in Fistcuffs with a brutally scarred man of thy stature? Perhaps she thinks my devotion to her a little high. So what should be done about this ruse? Nothing, I think. Very well, I shall hold off then on making a response. I hope you can work it out. Farewell. Juliet looks at you hopefully. Well, anything yet? Montauk intended to leave you to me, and so I told him it was all a ruse. I'm not sure what he'll do now.
Updated my journal.
Thou told him? Blast, now what shall I do? Since he knows everything now, you may as well discuss your feelings about the relationship openly. Juliet nods. 'Tis true enough. Yes, I thank thee. Of course, I have some questions now. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Juliet shakes her head sadly. Such a pity, too. Poor woman. I will admit I have crept into her chambers at times to apply a drop or two of her perfumes, but for one to be bold to make off with Vivian's own personal scent, unbearably rude. In any case, ask young Nenny of it. She's always fitting about, watching everyone. What about Marissa's crimson veil? Oh, who would ever wish to find that thing? I, for one, hope that unmannerly and utterly disagreeable woman is confined to her chambers until I am well and gone from this place. But to answer that question, no, I have not seen it, nor do I know where it might be. Nenny might, though. She's forever wondering about watching everything. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny, and how are you on this fine day? Oh, we've met before. She giggles and smiles gleefully at you. I'm sorry, I know you look familiar, though. That's right, Nenny. I had some questions. I'm trying to find Marissa's crimson veil. Do you know where it might be?
My journal.
I'll bet I do. I saw that nasty Kimaxi's adder tongue sneaking out of Marissa's room one night. They're both meanies, you know. But Kimaxi's really awful. Anyway, I talked to her first. Thanks. I had another question. Can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Oh, Echo. Yeah, she's a mysterious one, isn't she? Do you know that she ever speaks? Okay. What do you think about... Okay.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong. I hear your words.
Darkness hears you.
Oh, it's you again. Just can't get enough of me, huh? Had some questions. I was told you were seen sneaking away from Marissa's chambers recently. Is that connected with her missing veil somehow? She flies into a rage. Who told you that? She suddenly falls silent, glaring at you through narrowed eyes. If I was there, Burke, I didn't take her filthy veil. Search my room if you'd like. I'd catch you sniffing at my breeches, though. I'll see to you never allowed in here again. Why would anyone ever sniff your breeches?
Updated my journal.
Beats me. Someone's nicked more than a few pair of them, though. My favorite leather brassiere, too, with the iron studs. Kamaxi said someone's been taking things from her room too. Have you seen anything
Updated
odd?
my journal.
Nini's eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, that's right. You know, once I saw a man sneaking out of Kamaxi's room while she was out taking to a patron. I watched the front door all that day, but he never ever left. Isn't that odd? I don't think he could have made it out of the window, and so I never figured out where he went. And then I totally forgot about it. Weird. That is it. Farewell.
All right.
This is Luis, the talking Armori. I had some questions. Nini told me she saw a man leaving Kamaxi's Addertongue's room. I think that was you, Luis. You think? Think? How could you be so alarmingly rude, so ludicrously presumptuous as to point forth such an accusation without being absolutely certain of your charges? How dare you, impertinent Bassy-cur? Why ought to... As Luis rails and curses, his drawers open and close, you notice a small bundle of crimson cloth tucked alongside some clothes. The repeated opening and closing of the Mori drawers make it difficult to grab, however. You stand poised at the edge of the Mori. It keeps grabbing on, but it never seems to sway open long enough for you to grab the cloth. Try and snap your hand while the drawer is open. You simply cannot move your hand quickly enough to snatch the crimson cloth from within Louise. The most you could accomplish would be getting your fingers crushed. Pull open the drawer to get the cloth. The drawer remains closed. You hear it puffing and wheezing from exertion. Go away, you barbarian. Give me the crimson cloth, Louise. Shan't, won't, never. Beg and whine for the cloth. Oh, please stop that rubbish. It's quite tiresome and transcends all known meanings to the word boredom. Beg and whine. Stop, how tedious still. You're making me quite drowsy. The Mori yawns, exposing the crimson cloth where it rests snugly beside some undergarments. You dart your hand in and seize it before the drawer can close itself. Tucking it away, you notice it is perfumed with a light, exotic, and most pleasant fragrance. Damn it, you rogue, blackguard, scoundrel. You give that back this instant. That's not yours. This is an exceedingly personal garment that belongs to the lady of this establishment, and they would not appreciate you fondling their private things. Oh, but it's all right for you, you wooden pervert. I'm not doing anything so criminal and malicious as you are. I'm merely soaking in sensations necessary as my growth as an individual. Yes, yes, farewell. Vivian greets you with a half-polite, half-smile. Had you any luck finding my scent? Yes, I found it in this red veil.
Updated my journal.
Vivian's eyes light up. Oh, how simply wonderful. She takes the veil from your hands, mutters a few words over it, and returns it to you. She shakes her hand, her crimson hair, and in moments you are surrounded by the most intensely exotic and arousing scent you have ever had the pleasure of smelling. That smells great. It does it not? She smiles at you. And as you have done a favor for me, so I wish to perform one for you. Stand close to me, scarred one. You step closer to Vivian. She takes your hand and, turning it over, takes a single cautious sniff of your wrist. Phew! She wrinkles her nose. Vinegar or embalming fluid. Here, I will remove this smell from you. She mutters a few strange syllables, and a light tingling sensation spreads over your skin. In moments, your chemical reek lessens substantially. There, how is that? People should be less eager to avoid conversation with you now.
Ooh,
Thanks,
like
Vivian.
my skills
Farewell.
have increased.
Marissa, cold, cruel voice hisses out from the darkness. It returns. You have a reason for coming this time, I trust, or just more of your pointless questions? Actually, I brought your crimson veil. Then would you please hand it over? Of course, here you are.
Updated my journal.
You hold the crimson veil before you and feel her take it from your hands. Ah, yes, much better. Two shining points of red light appear before you as she opens her eyes. So that's what you look like. Perhaps I would have been better off with my eyes shut. Watch that forked tongue of yours, Marissa. Do not even get me started. Farewell. Greetings again. I had some questions. Is your name
Updated
Echo?
my journal.
I had some questions. May I ask why you can't communicate? Was your voice
Updated
stolen?
my journal.
She nods, clasping her hands together and smiling at you. Do you know of any way to get your voice back? She shakes her head, her face wrought with frustration. She suddenly looks at you pleadingly as if expecting an answer. I'll try and find a way to return your voice. Echo nods to you slowly, smiling at you with eyes full of gratitude. I'll look for something that would give you voice, then. Farewell, Echo.
Updated my journal.
I've gotten this fiend's tongue for you. She raises her eyebrow and gives you a skeptical look. I'm told that should you place it in your mouth, you'll regain the ability to communicate. She nods and takes the bottle from you. She gingerly picks out the severed tongue from the briny solution, and after staring at it for a moment in disgust, places it into her mouth. Suddenly her eyes widen, and there is a burst of reddish light from beneath her lips. Echo opens her mouth, closes it, then opens it once more and speaks. I can speak again. Oh, joy! And I damned thee the darkest pits, thou stenchering worm keel before me and speculation insect, huh? Echo yelps and covers her mouth with both hands. Her eyes are wide open with panic. It must be the fiend's tongue.
Updated my journal.
She slowly takes her hands away from her mouth, nodding. It seems I must devour thy frail shell and consign thy soul to the abyss for the eternity. Thou shalt serve in my battle thrall till the plains grind to the halt. Thou art mine. Mine. Echo shuts her mouth again and begins to softly, quietly weep. Wait, try using these diva's tears. They should soothe the tongue's cursing.
Updated my journal.
She nods, smiling, and takes the vial from you. Echo places a few of the sparkling blue drops onto her tongue. I believe the tears are working. Yes, they are. I can speak in my own voice once more. Oh, how I thank you. Echo squeezes your hand and bows her head gratefully, her eyes welling with tears. It was my pleasure to help you. I had some questions. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Echo nods and lowers her voice. In fact, I do. Not only does she exist, she has children.
Updated my journal.
She what? One of them is here, at times. Kasai Ceres, she is the child of Ravel, though she is loath to accept the fact. Who could blame her? She pauses for a moment, thinking. I have never gotten her to admit it, though I'm sure 'tis true. Fascinating. Thanks, Echo. I heard that Kasai Ceres is Ravel's daughter. Is that true?
Updated my journal.
Ravel? I thought I might have heard that name before. I know not the truth of it, but I have heard such a rumor. Thou may wish to ask Kimaxi's Addertongue the very same question. They are half-sisters, thou see. I see. That's all I wish to know. Thanks, Juliet. I heard you and Kasai Ceres have sisters. Is that true? Yes, I'm related to that chubby mewling, hooked-nosed daydreamer. Same father, different mothers, so? Forget it. Farewell. She smiles warmly as you draw near her, pushing a wavy lock of hair away from her bright crimson eyes. Well, greetings once again. Something I can do for you? Kansai, are you Ravel's daughter? She suddenly bars her teeth, her eyes narrowing in slits of blazing crimson. What? Where'd you hear such a thing? Echo
Updated
told
my
me.
journal.
Ridiculous. I think I'd know if that wicked hag was my own mother. Now stop bothering me about it. Who's your mother, then? I don't know, all right. My father raised me. I never knew her, but do I look like a night hag to you? No, of course not. She glares at you, her eyes blazing. Perhaps we'll speak later, but I'm no longer in the mood. Farewell. Echo told me. Who's your mother, then? Well, there's the skin and the eyes and maybe the teeth, too. Some questions for you. Ravel's daughter, by chance. Echo told me. Who's your mother, then? No, of course not. Ravel's daughter, just a rumor, that's all. Who's your mother, then? No, of course not.
Hey, Chief, they say we get rid of Ignis, all right? I mean, he's burning his candle at both ends, if you know what I mean.
I heard that Kasai Cirrus is Ravel's daughter. Is that true? She shook. As far as I know, yes. She looked suddenly suspicious. Why? I asked her about it, and she denied it. So, not as if any of her business in the first place. I also heard you have sisters. I was hoping you could help me find out if Kasai is really Ravel's daughter.
Updated my journal.
She fronts you. Normally, I'd love to help you like this, but I have a feeling it upset that flirting, preening doxy good and well. Tell her to ask our father. He's a powerful Cambin, so she ought to be able to call him right down then and there. That'll get you your answer. Cambion? Yes, Cambion. She rolls her eyes. Didn't you hear me the first time? Yours all stooped up with the last of your brains running out of them? I'm asking what one is. My, you're clueless, she shakes her head sadly, tutting all the while. A half-fiend, Burke, sort of like you, but you're half-dung, I think. You'll smell of it at any rate. What'd you say? Smiles one way. Don't worry, I don't stay upset long. Something I can do for you? It depends. What sort of things do you do? Talk, of course, usually about dreams. Often those erotic in nature, but not always. Swings you smelling. So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy. I've heard everything, you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me. And so I love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you'd like to. But you must go first. My dreams were recently revised when I saw you, my lady. Were they now? She smiles, her gleaming red eyes looking at you over once more. You look very savage, you know. Tell me, are you rough with your lovers? In the act, I mean? Very physical? Oh jeez. I don't know, really. She paused for a moment, then shrugs. If you're uncomfortable speaking about it, then that's alright. I will say, though, that you shouldn't have any such reservations with a lover. These things are important to discuss, especially before the act, you know. It'll be best for both of you. I'll keep that in mind. She simply smiles in response. Say, you never did tell me about your dreams, you know. Come on, let's have them. I'd like to tell you, but I have too little time. Kasai, I talked to Kimaxi. She told me she's your half-sister and that Ravel is your mother. Kasai snarls, her eyes blazing with malice. That hell is how I loathe that woman. Why would you even believe that sort of trip? She says that you deny it, and the fact you may not know it, but that it's true. She said you could ask your father, but he would tell you.
Updated my journal.
Kensai stares at you silently for a time. Give me a moment. She turns from you and begins to mutter softly. The air seems to shimmer around her slightly and fills with a canopy smell of warm blood. She returns, turned away from you for a moment before finally coming to face you. I do not want to believe that wicked hag may have been my mother. I have lived long, I do not appear to age, and I have disturbing dreams sometimes, she shudders. But still, I do not wish to be the inheritor of the evil she caused, nor draw the lady's gaze as my mother did. Such evil things she did. Tell me what you know of her, will you? I heard she would pose impossible riddles to people, riddles she could answer, but no one else could. She would devour the person if they answered incorrectly, or leave them dangling in her horrifying gardens as examples to all. Those few who somehow escaped the tormented in their dreams, riding them like steeds, breaking their wills and hurling their souls into the colorless oblivion of the great waste. Her magic was said to be beyond anything most had ever seen. It was imagination woven from nightmare and given substance, stone and solid shapes bent to her will like soft clay. The laws of the plains would bend beneath her feet. From nothing she could weave illusion, and from illusion weave realities that could horrify and kill and confound. She was a mistress of the dark arts, mistress and master of them all. She hounded of governor that dared quote sigil law to her with shadows that devoured him, all but his tongue, his fingers and his flesh and his face. She turned mercy killers inside out and shattered buildings of those who displeased her. Terrible, terrible powers were at her command. She changed her shape like water and would use it to destroy some for amusement and to steal knowledge from others. She was a monster, like all that had been pawned from the Grey Waste. In the end, she threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains come rolling in like a wave. Fortunately, she did not succeed. She existed solely to cause malice. I do not know if she's dead, but I know now that she was my mother. Kansai's shoulders slump and her head hangs low. Oh, that I had tears so that I could weep with sorrow. Try and comfort her. Thanks for your efforts, but I'll be fine. I just need some time to think about it, that's all. I wouldn't worry about it, Kansai. You're nothing like Ravel. Farewell. I think we will end this episode here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching me. I know this episode went on a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to try and finish up all these side quests here in the brothel. Thank you so much for joining me on this playthrough of Planescape Torment. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you all in the next one.